In this episode, we're talking strategy and why is the car business so tough?
Welcome to Down Payment, the podcast for used car dealers. Prepare to learn something new about the industry that keeps us moving.
Welcome to another episode of Down Payment. And here we want to talk today about why is the car business so tough and a little bit of the business strategy that discussion entails. So anyone that's in the car business knows that it's a tough industry. It only looks easy to the people that aren't in it. But have you thought about why? Why is this car industry such a difficult industry? And it really leads us to then some questions about business strategy and how to make your dealership truly great. So, one of the things that makes this industry so tough is it is hyper competitive. There are tons of dealers flooding markets. There are very few people across America that don't buy a car because they don't have good access to a dealer. So, to be successful in this industry, we're really fighting against each other for our own piece of the pie. This hyper-competitive industry drives a lot of challenges. But let's look a little bit deeper beyond that. Amongst independent used car dealers, what are you selling? What is your product? It's probably the same thing that your competition is selling. There is little differentiation between dealers based on product. We're all selling the same used cars coming from the same used car factories. Sure, some dealers will differentiate and might specialize in imports or trucks and SUVs, but overall, very little differentiation between used car dealers on product. There's also little differentiation on processes. We're all more or less using the same playbook. We're running our businesses more or less the same way, using the same accountants, using the same consultants, basically mirroring our businesses after each other on process. It's also true on personnel. Most dealerships are hiring more or less the same people as their competition. In fact, it's really common that we're kind of like a carousel and we're hiring the same people. They jump on our business and work with us for a period of time, and then they jump off and move to another dealership. And then 12, 18 months down the road, they're back with us. We're more or less drawing from the same pool of people. There's also usually very little differentiation on customer experience. From the customer's perspective, we are more or less, amongst independent used car dealers, providing the same experience. We all advertise that we provide the best customer service, but are we really? There's little differentiation also on that marketing message. We're all advertising that we have the best customer service, or we have the best prices, or we have the best inventory, or we have the best financing. Outside of those messages, we're probably all saying the same thing. And what this does is start to make dealers look like commodities. We're all the same. We're a dime a dozen. And that leads us to one of the big keys to being a great dealer. To be a great dealer, you need to have some differentiation. You can't be just like every other dealer. There are lots of average dealers out there. Average dealers more or less account for probably 60, 70, 80% of the market. To be a great dealer, to be a top 5% dealer, to be a top 10% dealer, there needs to be unique propositions about your business. An ounce of strategy can set your dealership apart. Don't say that you have the best customer service unless you have unique processes in place to deliver a unique customer experience that your rational, objective customer is going to be able to identify and say, there is something unique going on here. If there is something that you can do to make your product, your inventory unique, or if there is something you can do to bring on personnel that are different and bring a unique perspective that other dealers don't have, or if you could differentiate on the customer experience or the marketing message and offer a unique value proposition, that's a big key to making your dealership a great one. And to do that, you got to identify something, and then you got to develop the robust processes to be able to deliver it in a real sense. Not marketing hype, not puffery, but actually doing something unique in this industry. If you can do that, you're well on your way to being a top 5%, top 10% dealership. Something to think about. And with that, it's been another episode of Down Payment, the podcast for used car dealers.
Thank you for listening. Down Payment, the podcast for used car dealers, is a production of Meta Financial Services Incorporated.